Hey guys, Drutter here, July the 12th, and the sun continues in Vancouver, as you can see. I think I will start a lot of my videos just with a quick shot of the tiny garden patch here if I'm doing them from home, and then people can see what's going on, because some people seem to be interested, and then the rest who aren't can just skip, 30 seconds forward. There's the tomato plant I got from the store. It's obviously taken to the ground and doing quite well. Lettuce, meh. I planted some begonias just for color. I don't really care for flowers much. There's going to be some garlic coming up along there. There's an onion in the back there. The potatoes are up and doing fairly well. That's one of my own tomato plants. And the pepper. These blueberries sure are good. Silver's had kind of a meh day. It started off losing quite rapidly through the night, and then this morning there was a sharp spike up out of the 26s and back into the 27s. So once again this 26 area was tested, but has not broken through that 26 and change area again. But there may be a reason for this spike up, actually, as you'll see next. Aha! So Sprott has done it again. Another major announcement from the holder of a lot of precious metals. This guy has a ton of silver, apparently, and I mean that literally. But you can check out the link down below. It's a little bit legalese and a little bit sort of businessese, and I don't necessarily speak either of those two languages very well, but I have managed to pare down this announcement to this. Toronto. Sprott announced today that it has launched a follow-on offering of PSLV units. The trust will buy physical silver bullion with the proceeds. The offering will be made by underwriters Morgan Stanley and Royal Bank. So that's my interpretation anyways of what this means, but you can check it out for yourself. It's a lot of text, and it kind of repeats itself and uses strange words. But it does appear that there's going to be some physical silver bullion being bought up by Sprott's fund once again. I guess he's decided that this is a low, at least for him, on the chart, and I guess he's buying. So you can, there's been some speculation already online what this means. People saying it means, X number of million ounces and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't say that here. It doesn't say how many ounces he's buying and stuff. So I can't really be sure. I'm not going to speculate on that, but have a look and tell me what you think. I really like looking at precious metals and other things on logarithmic charts. It really allows you to see price moves in relation to percentages, basically, rather than nominal price moves. So, for example, here we have from 700 to 900 is 200, and it's that far on the chart, but the next 200 is only that far. The next 200 only that far, the next 200 only that far, and so on and so forth. So this is a logarithmic chart. And if you look back at the 2008 crash in the stock market and in precious metals, we're basically, if you can see that here, we're basically kind of, if the pattern continues, I'm not saying it necessarily will, but if the pattern continues, which has been going for many years now, we appear to be at this point here where we're coming, sort of banging back up against this long-term trend line, or this is the moving average actually, pushing up against that moving average. And I notice we're doing that again here. Back in 2008, what happened next is we broke through, and then it has been used as support ever since. So it hasn't broken through that trend line or that moving average yet. But it's an interesting chart to look at, and you can see a lot of similarities. You can see this peak, the lower peak, and then the subsequent dip, followed by the long, slow recovery phase, and then the move up to new higher prices. Then we had the peak, the lower peak, and then the crash down. And now here we are still, attempting to get back up and start making new highs again in gold. But for a lot of people who look at the precious metals charts and say, oh, that looks like crap, I don't want any precious metals. I don't know, have you looked at the logarithmic charts, which shows you a more accurate view? This is over a 5-year period, and it shows to me that the bull run is not necessarily over by a long shot. This is a picture of Mark Emery and his wife Jody Emery. I got this picture from her. It's from Yazoo Prison, which is somewhere in the southern United States. If you don't know, Mark Emery is the guy who was a Canadian Never been to the U.S., never had any business dealings in the U.S., but he was selling seeds online, and Americans bought the seeds, and he was extradited by the DEA because these seeds were to be grown into cannabis plants. That's right, those dirty cannabis smokers. So now this guy was extradited into the U.S., and he's being held in a maximum security federal prison in the U.S., as far away from Vancouver as possible geographically, to make it harder for his wife to visit him in prison. But she does make the trip every week, and this is a really great guy. She's a really great girl, and it's too bad to see someone's freedom taken away. There's a smile on his face, and that's probably because he's getting a hug from his wife that he gets to see once a week. But I don't imagine that life in prison is really all that great, especially for someone who values freedom and liberty, which I certainly do. I know I couldn't survive in prison. I would have to change very quickly, or I would go insane, because just the thought of being under someone's control and not allowed to leave, even for an hour, freaks me out. And this guy's spending 5 years in a maximum security for selling seeds. Basically, he is a national hero in my opinion, and this is just really messed up. But he's got 2 years as of yesterday if he gets out on early parole, or whatever it's called, early release, and we're hoping for that. He's applied multiple times to the authorities to have his sentence served within Canada, so it's easier for his wife to visit him, but the authorities will not allow that. So he's got 2 more years, unless legalization happens before that, which is a very real possibility, as close to 3/4 of Canadians don't support the criminalization of cannabis. It's a medicinal plant and really has no business being illegal. Whether or not people use it for recreational purposes is absolutely up to them. It's not up to the government to decide what we do with our bodies. It's up to us to decide that, and we need to make sure that they're aware of that fact. 2 articles on CNN Money today about cash. One of them is just fascinating facts about cash. In other words, here's some propaganda. And the other one is telling us about how we're moving to a cashless society very quickly. So I'll put the links down below. This is the first one. Notice how it says cold hard greenbacks. Cold hard greenbacks. Now, I've felt a lot of paper in my life, and none of it was cold or hard. So I wonder if maybe that expression came about, I don't know, that expression cold hard cash came about maybe back when cold hard cash really was cold and hard. I don't know, just saying. One of the reasons, according to the people who want a cashless society, that we need to move toward a cashless society is that cash is really hard to design. For example, the latest 50 and 100 from the Bank of Canada, which are made of plastic, melt in the sun. Yes, we have a heat wave going on here in North America, if you haven't noticed, and it has brought to light the fact that our money, well, our currency, now melts in the sun. So if you leave this in your car, or it sits in the sun, or it's in a windowsill where it's getting direct sunlight, yeah, it melts and warps, and it no longer works. In my opinion, that's just reason number 47 why paper and plastic are not good money. It doesn't mean that we need to move to a cashless society. I don't understand how anyone can think that just because we keep on making ridiculous, useless paper and plastic money, that is a reason why we need to have no money at all and just go to a completely digital, trackable, traceable, recordable form of currency. No thanks. Anyhow, that's it for me today. I'm off to the dealer because I don't want this plastic $50 note. I want a nice big, cold, hard chunk of real money. Talk to you soon.